Hey, how's it going? Today we're going to be talking about some new storage options from Muslogy. What they do is take the already prefabricated storage space and make it more efficient by subdividing it, and it's an easier way to store stuff inside your vehicle.
Boring and boring. All the stuff in here is boring.
While I'll agree with my kids that this stuff is not as flashy as new rims, a lift, new tires, it still does serve a purpose in a vehicle that does not have that much storage space. So first I'll talk about the center console organizer. It's kind of got a rubber mat to the bottom of it and then three separate compartments. There's this little doodad box, I don't know if you put coins or quarters in it, that you can kind of insert in there. But it kind of leaves a gap around, doesn't really maximize the space, so I'm not really going to use it in my truck. Next up is the center console lid organizer. It's got a magnetic lid that you can open and put stuff inside. It's got decent space, not a lot of space, but the lid already doesn't really have any storage options as it is. The storage option comes with two screwdrivers for the screws. Really only need one, that's going to fit the size, and that's going to help you install it in the truck. Lastly, you'll have the door handle inserts, which provide ample space if you want to drop something through the handle. So first up, we'll review the handle kind of holder. So it just drops kind of right in there where the handle is, and that's kind of your storage. Not too much, but really when you go to close the door, your fingers would take up any storage space that you would have in here if you put junk or whatnot that was catching it, and you wouldn't be able to close the door. I have shorter fingers too, so that makes it easier closing this thing. Not a super big dude. But if you're a bigger dude or dudette, it might be difficult because you're not getting the full length you would if you're just grabbing it without the cup holder. Grabbing the whole thing. Personally, I'm a bigger fan of reaching all the way through and grabbing this meaty handle, especially since these doors feel a lot heavier than the third and second gen. At least my 2011 Tacoma, like this one feels a lot heavier. So next up, we'll do the center console separator, and we'll drop that in to the center console. Kind of like that. Fits in. It actually feels pretty solid. It's not wiggling around at all. I think it really separates it pretty well. Kind of a fan of this. And it actually still leaves space underneath. So this center console is, let's see, about maybe 2.25 inches deep. And this guy's, what is that, about 5.5 deep. So you still got plenty of space, over 3 inches down below after popping in. All right, last thing we're going to install is the center console upper storage. And it'll go right there in that gap. So what's nice is it uses the existing screws. You'll just unscrew them here and then screw the top compartment in using the same ones. So there it is, fully installed. Just 2 screws really. Not a ton of space, but definitely fit a Leatherman in there. That's what you're trying to hide. Really just opens up that extra space up top that maybe you wouldn't have had without this thing, and the organizer in there as well. All in all, if there's one thing I could recommend that I think I would get the most use out of, would be the center console organizer. It really just helps break up the space so you can store more stuff efficiently in the truck. With that, that concludes the review. We'll see you next time.
Two.